thank you to our sponsor, MBA Growth Partners.
Welcome to Studio 501c3. I'm your host, Kim Jones, CEO of the Nonprofit Village. We're a proud partner of Montgomery Community Media, your public access resource that provides a variety of information and programs relevant to Montgomery County. We're highlighting nonprofit organizations that provide essential programs and services. The IRS has designated them a public benefit, therefore your donations are often tax deductible. Today, my guest is Farrah Ahmad, president of Pillars for Dignity. Their mission is to build pillars and pathways to support and empower underserved women and girls who face social or economic challenges. Farrah, thanks for being here today.
Thanks so much, Kim. I really appreciate being on the show.
Great. So let's let the audience know a little bit more. So do you want to talk a bit about the mission and the actual programs that you are starting to operate?
Yeah, definitely. And I just wanted to, thank you again. And Nonprofit Village came to know a little bit about Nonprofit Village many years ago when I was affiliated with McHale, and wanted to say thank you to Eric as well for recommending that I join today. So like you said, Kim, Pillars for Dignity, we're about a year old. And I mentioned that because, even though we are a year old, we're small, but I think making some great headway in terms of what we're trying to do. And you captured a bit about our mission, and thank you for doing that. So I'll kind of dive in a little bit more into sort of why we founded their organization and what we're trying to do to achieve our goals. So as you said, we founded the nonprofit Pillars for Dignity, or P4D, as we say. It's a little bit less of a mouthful. P4D was founded by myself and my partner and friend, Naila Chowdhury, who's the CEO. And we came together, two women, sort of on a very similar path with the women before us having had sort of similar challenges, just that life threw at them, whether it was economic, financial, emotional. And we sort of came together with that common mission to put together a nonprofit that would help underserved, underrepresented women and girls, and really give them an opportunity and a platform to lead a life with dignity. And we decided that the key determinants to that were really through training, education, and economic empowerment. We've spoken to several women, including, the reason why I'm doing this. I was inspired in many ways by my own mother and her sort of, journey, becoming an immigrant and then working, but not having that access to education in her earlier sort of, early 20s. She didn't officially finish college, and that was a big determining factor to why we founded this organization, to really try and help women, that come as immigrants to America that might be struggling. They might be at a homeless shelter, really trying to just get a better platform where they can be financially independent and live a life without charity. So that was the key premise behind the organization.
And that navigation can be very challenging. It's challenging for someone who's grown up in the system in the United States, but to come from outside of the country to immigrate in can be even more daunting. So are all of the women and girls that you're serving in part of the immigrant population, or are you also for American-born women and girls who need these pillars that you are starting, which we'll talk about a little bit later,
Sure.
These pillars that you're putting together to help them sustain and improve their own lives?
Yeah, thanks for that question. I think it's an important one. And absolutely, we were founded to help all women, not just immigrants, but we do some work with some of the homeless shelters here in the county and in Maryland. So it's not just women from other countries. Of course, those challenges and barriers are unique because English being a second language, or, that journey, connecting them to ESOL classes. But we're here fundamentally to help all underserved women and girls. And I wanted to mention the young girls because we are doing some things with sort of young, sort of high school juniors, seniors on their way to hopefully pursuing a career, education in college, whatever that might be. So it is also including sort of the younger population as well.
And we know that that process also, the higher education system,
Yes.
also is one for everybody to have to learn to navigate, because even those of us who went through the system, 1,000 years ago, our kids, going through the system now, the application process is completely different. Everything is different.
Yes.
So, yeah. What about your ability to get volunteers to raise funds so that you can support the programs? We've only got about a minute before we go to break, but if you could quickly talk about capturing volunteers.
Yeah, another great question. So we are actually, because it was just myself and Naila, and then we do have a very small group of volunteers, we are trying to build that volunteer network as we speak, actually, because we do want to sort of move more towards a volunteer-only organization. We have been really blessed with generous sort of sponsorships, donations by some angel investors, and then some corporate sponsors as well that came in to help us initially. And then right now where we are is really just fundraising, where 100% of the donations are indeed going towards all the programs that we have right now, but we're always on the lookout for volunteers. High school seniors, college age, doesn't matter what, but whether it's sort of, we do sort of very frequent monthly food distributions. We're collecting clothes right now for Afghani refugees. So whatever it might be, we're looking for volunteers.
Okay. And I know that there's a lot of information on your website, which we're going to have on screen, and I'll mention again later, but people can get that. And again, your ability to make sure that those donors keep coming, because that's what helps those programs are going to continue to serve women. So we need to take a brief break, but when we come back, we're going to learn a little bit more about Pillars for Dignity, or P4D. Studio 501c3 on Montgomery Community Media. We'll be right back.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
How was school?
Music can help you express how you're feeling. When you can't find the language, find the lyrics.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back to Studio 501c3, featuring exceptional nonprofit programs in Montgomery County. I'm talking with Farrah Ahmad, the president of Pillars for Dignity, or P4D. So before the break, we started to talk a little bit more about some of the sustainable programs that will help women navigate through the system and encourage them in their pursuit of their own goals. A lot of the pillars that you have put together really are aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And I think that's very powerful that you have used those as a platform in order to define what Pillars for Dignity will do in terms of focusing on specific actions. So can you describe some of those pillars and some of those actions?
Yep, definitely. So when we founded the organization, I think I mentioned already, the training, the economic empowerment, the training and education was what the key pillar really to being able to provide a platform to women on their path to financial independence. And with that, the United Nations has what they call the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDGs, which I believe many companies around the world and here in the US as well kind of strive to sort of focus on elements of those SDGs. So empowerment, literacy, education, those are actually very key to what the United Nations has as part of the 17 SDGs. And it sort of went hand in hand with our mission and vision. So when we were writing the strategic plan last year, which we sort of wrapped up, I want to say in the fall, that was really important to us to make sure that we were in alignment with what was going on, sort of not just here, but also globally, and how relevant it is to what the challenges are that these women are facing. So some of the key programs, we do have a couple of things going on right now with Title I schools in the county, where we're providing scholarship initiatives or an incentive to young rising high school seniors that are trying to pursue an education in STEM, so science, technology, engineering, math. They've rephrased it now, which I recently learned about, to STEAM. So it includes arts, which I think is fantastic because, of course, graphic design, visual arts, all of these more creative things that go into STEAM. So we're providing an incentive. We have a couple of collaborations here in the county, but we also just recently, actually last December, provided 3 scholarships to, I want to say there was sophomores at the University of Texas, Austin. They have a naval ROTC program. So we provided 3 scholarships to 3 of the minority women there that had sort of, excelled and done really well, and promising futures ahead.
Okay. Well, we've only got a couple of minutes left before we end, but what's on tap for the future? What is your vision? What is it that you hope, in 1 minute, that you can move the organization towards accomplishing?
Yep, so we're definitely trying to build out our programs further. We're doing currently in the county, working with about, I want to say about 400 Afghani women, not all of them directly, but we're trying to tap into that network to see where we can help in terms of getting them help with job placement or helping some of the younger girls who want to pursue a college degree. So we are doing an initiative with that, just basic life skills training. That's definitely something we're trying to build out. We're also trying to encourage young girls in athletics. So that's another sort of program that we're trying to build out. I think fundamentally, we really want to be able to fundraise more, bring in more donors, because ultimately, as a nonprofit, we're dependent on the funds that will, go into feeding the programs that we're trying to help all these women.
Well, that's a lot of information, and I actually have some resources that I'd like to share with you offline, so we'll talk again.
That'd be great.
Yeah, this has been fantastic. I'm sorry we have to stop here, but thank you so much for giving us a glimpse into the work of Pillars for Dignity and what you've done already and where you're going. It's been a great discussion, Farrah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for highlighting us.
For more information on Pillars for Dignity, check out their website at pillars4dignity.org. I'm Kim Jones. Thanks for joining us, and come back for another edition of Studio 501c3 on Montgomery Community Media.